So this is my, this is the first batch of film I'm ordering this year. So I shouldn't be doing this because I have a ton of film already frozen um, in my freezer. I've got 35 millimeter and 120, um, enough to last me for another 2 years. Um, but I ordered some film for the first and possibly the last time this year. I shouldn't be ordering any more new film because, like I said, I've got a ton frozen already saved up, and I do dumb shit like this. I have a whole. I just emptied out half this can and put some out on a table to make sure I remember that I've got more than plenty and I don't need to order anymore. But here it is. I got another can full like this, just a 35 millimeter. Well, I already give film away to people, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to start giving it away, like I guess through the channel. But we'll see how that goes. Here it is. So at least I managed to keep myself from ordering too much. Let's just look at what the first batch has. Hopefully I won't order too much more. More of that. Alright, so I got the good old staple, the standby, a couple of rolls of HP5 and 120. I just ordered 120 film. I've got more 35 millimeter than I know what to do with. They don't sell 120 in bulk rolls. They technically do. You can buy 70 millimeter IMAX, whatever film, and cut it down. That's a bit much for me. It's just super duper standard. Just cover all your bases. Have some HP5 on hand, just in 120 format. So 2 rolls of that. I got me a 5-pack of Ektar. I've got a bunch of Ektar already frozen, but I ordered one more because the price went down. And who knew we'd see the day where Kodak slightly but reduces prices for film. I know 120 is, or rather has been, just overall is slightly more affordable to shoot. You get more frames with 35 millimeter, but 120 is, I don't know if it's more fun to shoot, but it's definitely, you just get a better result. Whether it's 645, 6x6, 6x9, usually more work, but well worth it. And I'm gonna need to run through more 120 this year for sure. I just haven't gotten to shoot as much, especially since it turned out my Rolleiflex has a corroded front element in the taking lens, and it's apparently like, that's it. That kills it. So a 5-pack Ektar. Lastly, but Tri-X. Why? What's this? Why get HP5 and Tri-X? I've never shot Tri-X in 120. I've shot lots of HP5 in 120 format, but medium format, or 120, whatever you want to call it. Tri-X is something that I've never tried, and I haven't really looked up any reviews or whatever. But Tri-X is probably was my first black and white film when I first started shooting. I was a teenager, and it's always been my favorite film, but it's just so expensive in 35 millimeter format. Even if you buy the bulk roll, it's just the bulk roll ends up being the same price as buying individual rolls, and sometimes it's cheaper to buy individual rolls of Tri-X and 35 millimeter. It makes no sense. Anyway, never tried it in 120, and I've got a 645, a 6 and a 6x6, 645 rangefinder, and a 6x6 TLR, and I plan to run it through both of them. That's it. It's a small order, and I needed to make a small order because I was out of HP5. Ektar was a deal. I needed to meet a minimum, and I never tried Tri-X in 120. I don't actually have any Tri-X aside from one roll that expired when I was like in college, and it is a very old roll that I'm gonna actually go ahead and shoot at some point. I'll do a video about it. So that should be fun. A roll of film that I bought when I was 17. Yeah, so super excited about the Tri-X. And I may be getting a 6x7 Fujica. I may be getting a 6x7 rangefinder soon, so that's a format I'm not really used to. I'm probably gonna try that out. 120 is just, if you haven't shot 120 or considering shooting it, there's just nothing like it. I mean, I think in the long run, it ends up being cheaper. Yeah, because you focus more on what you want to get, and you have way less frames per roll. So you have to make every shot count. And it's like when you miss stuff, or when you're kind of off your beat and you're just like kind of messing with the camera, trying to find your footing, you lose like 2 frames of 6x6, and it's just like, it makes you really hate yourself. So it makes you pay attention and really, really up your game. So, and 120 is really where it's at. I think at some point everyone ends up in the 120 world, even in like a only for special occasion type of way. But I'm starting to shoot 120 more just for daily stuff, for family stuff. It's just it's hard to beat. It seems like more and more film stocks are disappearing. You know, that goes more so for 120. For a while, Fuji Pro 400, which is a film that I really, really like. I like it. Like, it might as well be Portra. I know they're similar, but I remember like Fuji Pro 400 was gone for 35mm, and it was still around for 120. And I was like, okay, just for that film, I'm gonna shoot 120. And I bought a bunch of it, froze some of it, and then like a week later, Fuji's like, we're done, we're not making this anymore, or rather not shipping it to the US anymore. But Fuji is kind of indicating left and right that they're done with film altogether. Like, what film of theirs is available in the US anymore? Fuji 200 is Kodak Gold. It's just, Superior is gone. Acros is not available anymore. I think it's gone. So Fuji's pretty much gone. So the only thing we have left is really Kodak and Ilford. And then there's guys like Orwo, which UN54 black and white film is okay. And I know they have color stocks, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. Fuji's discontinued 120 films were just so good. And it sucks. I even have some of their slide film stored away in the freezer, and it just feels like, if this is the last of it, why, like, I should hold on to it a little bit longer. And so it ends up with stuff like this, that where you get your practice and your work in, and then when it's like some super special travel day, I guess, for me, or super special like family day, I'll go ahead and open up a roll of 120 and see if I can make it count. So yeah, here's to shooting more 120 this year.